What up? How you guys feeling? I'm a little late, my bad. How you guys been? Welcome, welcome. This is the crypto live stream. 2 people in the house. How's it going? Let me know who it is. Dad Master, what's good, man? How you been? 1 second. Let me make sure I'm streaming on X here. I'm simulcasting, guys. I'm trying to step my game up. Cryptophasia, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Yo. Yo. Those of you who don't know me, I think all of you do. But those of you who don't know me, my name is DubDigital. Been in the space for about 10 years. I like to come and kick it with crypto people. It's always fun with crypto people, guys. I do a lot of content, do live streams. That's kind of my bread and butter now, especially on YouTube. I'm also doing a lot of content on X nowadays. So before we get going, let me show my stuff. What's the point if you can't chill, right? Here we go, right here, before we get going. That's me. Follow me. I do a lot of content. I try to do some threads on trends in the space. Last thread I did a couple of them. But I just try to drop my thoughts more frequently than I do my live streams here. Throughout time, probably starting next week, I'm going to start uploading shorts of this. I'm just trying different things out, man. Trying to find the niche. But as you guys know, I like to keep this pretty conversational. I have a larger overarching topic related to the stream. We talk about it, but it's largely just very interactive. I vibe off you, you vibe off me. The conversation goes where it goes, but I try to drop some crypto alpha along the way. So thanks for joining me. Buy Monk Coin. Yeah, I mean, you can't have a crypto stream without an occasional shill, right? But yeah, guys, guess we can get going. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the Bitcoin ETF situation. That's obviously the talk of the town in crypto right now. Bitcoin ETF has been like this ongoing coveted moment, right, in crypto. I've been in crypto since 2013. It hasn't been a thing for that long, but it really started popping up around the idea of it around 2017. When institutions started showing a little bit of appetite for decentralized money, they started talking about a Bitcoin ETF. We ended up getting a Bitcoin ETF, but at the very top of the last cycle, like super cycle, like 2017, 2018. The problem with that was it was cash settled. That's basically like inflating the supply of coins, because you could literally sell more coins than there are on the market, because you don't have to have the spot underlying asset to back it up. And what happened was the bear market of 2018 commenced, if you don't know already, because there was just pretty much more buying and selling than was available on certain cryptos, right? The coveted moment everyone's been waiting for in the space has been a spot ETF. And what's the difference between a spot ETF? It's basically you have to have the actual asset that you're selling or your product represents. You actually have to have it physically. And this is an interesting thing, right? Because cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, more or less, has a limited finite supply. You can never make any more. You can't find any more, like gold. You can't even cash settle it like the previous ETF products. This would cause an unprecedented demand by institutional investors, but also just people in the 401k and the stock space, right? A lot of the traditional money, quote unquote, older generations, baby boomers, and so on and so forth, they have the large majority of the world's wealth, right? They have a lot of it still. And a lot of it's wrapped up in brokerage accounts. They're not going to take the time to open a exchange. They're not going to take the time to learn how to use a DEX. They're not going to do any of that. They want to buy a ticker on a reputable exchange that they know and they trust, and bada bing, bada boom. We've been working for years and years to get to that point, because we all know crypto's not at its whole potential if all of that generation's money isn't in it yet. Now, there have been products, right, like GBTC. We've seen Grayscale, the first ones to come out with a product where traditional money can access Bitcoin for the first time. But the problem with the trust is, like, it wasn't It's not an ETF. It's not as easy, right? It's not as easy to get on like 401k plans. When you have an ETF, it's much more I won't say more regulated, but it's much more understood what it is, an exchange traded fund, right? Money managers, retirement managers are more open to like incorporating that as a potential option to its investors, right? So like once the money can really flow into 401 from 401ks into crypto, I think that's what's going to fuel like a large leg up for crypto like we saw in 2017. Let alone any institutional appetite or any family offices, which are not as big as institutions. They're usually like a group of investors or small families, just wealthy families that are trying to manage their money. So this is what's going to fuel it, right? I think we've kind of maxed out the ability to raise crypto up ourselves, being like the current crypto crowd. Every single ebb and flow in the market is because people are leaving and coming into the market. We need new blood. We need new money into this market. And the whole holdup has really been getting an ETF approved. That's why everyone's so psyched about it. Rats Ordinal's up another 100% today. 5 people, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm going to be doing these streams Tuesdays and Thursdays from now on. So tell your friends, tell your family that we're going to be talking about crypto out here. But yeah, guys, I think, there's 2 schools of thoughts with the Bitcoin ETF. There's people who like it, people who don't. People who don't typically tend to be very decentralized crypto purist, meaning it's not real Bitcoin. It's just a representation of Bitcoin. They're totally against it. And that's true, to be quite honest. There's nothing like holding the spot Bitcoin self-custodied in your wallet. No one can take it, not your keys, not your coins. But looking past that, right? Everyone talks about mass adoption. Everyone wants mass adoption. People aren't going to get Bitcoin right off the bat. They're going to have to get okay with the fact that this is a thing. It's trusted. It's a real deal. Because the main thing with crypto, when I first came into crypto, everyone thought it was a joke. Nowadays, you look around and all these investors are talking about, yeah, Bitcoin's the next best thing, this and that. But to be honest, they weren't here earlier on. This is a new sentiment that Bitcoin is now the quote unquote newest alpha jet fuel portfolio thing. But to a large swath of people, it's still a joke. It's always going to be a joke until Klaus Schwab, not Klaus Schwab, my bad, Vanguard, or whatever brokerage they use, right, allows an ETF to be traded. And once that's happened, and once there's been another Silk Road moment or another Mt. Gox thing that happens to these exchanges, then they'll start to understand the value of self-custody. But everyone has to go through those learning curves. Like, they have to put in the paces. They're not going to understand the whole, why do I need a wallet? I just want you to hold the Bitcoin for me. They don't understand that you can't really get refunded your Bitcoin if anything happens to it. You can insure it. You can do whatever you want. But you can never get the Bitcoin back. So once they start the ETF, then their learning curve starts. Baby steps, y'all. Baby steps. How do you guys feel about it, though? I know there's a mixed school of thought on the Bitcoin ETF thing. But what I don't think is up for debate is that it'll allow a lot more money into the space. Now, it's still an ETF. It's not going directly into Bitcoin, but these products have to buy Bitcoin. And there's not enough. They have to buy it on the open market, whatever the price is. That's something we've never seen before. That's very interesting. What do you think? 6 people, what's up? I got to know who you are, man. Say hi. Say hi. Come on. I'm a nice guy. Most of the time. I think it's good for holders, not so good for people on the sidelines. And that's the truth. I think it's good for holders. To be honest, more money in the space is good. It's definitely good. And we've went through plenty of setbacks over the last couple of years, have we not? FTX, Terra Luna, all the crap, all the blowback that's happened from it. A lot of value got vaporized, went away. A lot of people's bags went down. A lot of people rage quit, left. But just like every bear market, y'all, every bear market is like, it has this feeling of like, depression, of like prolongedness, of kind of feeling run ragged. And the people who have the conviction stay, and the people who don't have the conviction leave. And new people, when the bull run comes again, take their place, and then off we go. It's just this cycle of psychology. So if you've gone through this bear market, I think you deserve the money coming into this space. I'm happy for you. There's enough money in the world for all of us to win. Whether they're holding real Bitcoin or not real Bitcoin doesn't really matter. The only thing that really matters is that you're holding real Bitcoin. Not your keys, not your coins. Yo, generational talent, how you doing, man? How you feeling? Was chatting by myself on Twitter Live. Had to bring it here. Yeah, I know. X needs to get some kind of functionality. Elon, X needs to get functionality for people to interact on live streams. Live streams will never take off. So, guys, if you're on X and you want to talk, head over to YouTube. I left the link in my thing. Hold on. Oh yeah, I can share screens here. My bad. Share the screen. Share the screen. 1 second. Right here. Yeah. I have the link right here. Click it. Come on over. If not, I get it. No problem. But it just seems to be a little more interactive on YouTube. If you're on X, follow me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, follow me on X. I do different things there. I try to spice it up. What do y'all think about sand? Switching topics, but I try to stay on topic for the live streams, but there's only so much you can say about things. So as far as sand's concerned and metaverse and stuff, I think that's something that's going to continue to grow and trend, right? As you look at the Gen Z generation, they're more digitally native than any generation before it, and that's just the natural progression of younger people, right? They're more on trend when it comes to technologies. I think they're going to be much more open to like metaverse, especially after the pandemic, right? So like when you look at that trend and you look at the world today, there's not that much in the metaverse. Like it just started coming to fruition. Like last cycle was the first time it really got like some traction, and people have to build things within it. But as those things build and build and build, and people more or less get more antisocial, more addicted to screens, more open to having experiences in the metaverse, I think it's going to start to trend harder and harder. And I've always talked about metaverse as being an advertising haven. If you're in advertising and marketing, you need to look into the metaverse because you need to buy things when no one's there, just like real estate, right? At the point it's most developed and it's the most attractive is the point it's most expensive. You have to have like a vision in your mind's eye and understand that how valuable is physical real estate right off the highway? How valuable is it having a billboard right off of Hollywood Boulevard? It's very valuable. So when you look at these metaverses, while they might be empty now, imagine it like it being the busiest boardwalk, the busiest highway in the world. Reason being is if you bought physical real estate, you could only reach the people in the local area. But in the internet, you could reach everyone in the whole world because there are no physical constraints. Right? So I think that's going to be very interesting. And the reason I bring the Gen Z thing up is because look at this like Twitch and like live stream culture. Look at the NPC craze. Like people spend enormous amounts of resources on these streams. They spend enormous amounts of time on these streams just hanging out and getting more or less a personal connection from the person they're on the screen with. So with seeing that trending up and to the right, I don't ever see it going down. And the metaverse is just a more engaging like environment for that. So in terms of sand, I think it'll be interesting. Gaming's hot. It's getting more and more hot. I think there are like high schools that have like and colleges that have game teams now. So imagine gaming that you could win money for in a metaverse. Seems pretty good to me. Yeah, trying to get into metaverse plays now. Yeah, my fault, B. Advertising on there seems to be a gold mine if people use it. Yeah. Interesting stuff, man. I mean, the world is evolving so quickly. It's just kind of exciting to watch it. But just remember, y'all, like these trends that we see, you have to understand that if you're in crypto now, if you understand the value of decentralized money, you're probably a little ahead of the curve. You probably could see a little farther down the pike than most people can, right? So these changes are big and monolithic, and it takes a while to turn and the world to turn to match your vision. I mean, like 10 years later, we're just starting to see like institutions and big time investors, traditional money accept Bitcoin and understand finally like the significance of it. These things can be half a decade things out. But that's why I kind of stretch at like look at the high view, right? Place your bets, size them correctly, and let the world turn out the way you think it will. You know what I mean? I'm in some metaverse games. God Knight just arrived. Oh, how is that? Yeah, we're starting to see metaverse merge with games now. I mean, that was like Sandbox was the first thing that I saw really bad last cycle that was aiming to do that. And now there's probably more. I mean, I did a Sandbox video for you guys before it popped off. We were talking about how, like, what cycle do you think metaverse will pop off? And then it popped off. I even said later because it was taking so long. See, like, when you're early to things, guys, it might feel like it's never going to happen. It might feel like it's never going to come, but then it does. And I'm going to tell you what, like, that's a hard lesson I've learned over the years because I've been early to a lot of things. So early that sometimes I drop the things and then they take off. Isn't that the way life always works? Crazy. Nice Prada Illuvium. Interesting. But like as far as Bitcoin ETFs are concerned, I think BlackRock is going to be the first one. I think it's going to be the first accepted ETF because BlackRock is basically pseudo the US government. I mean, they're humongous. They earn a lot. They own a lot of the single house real estate right now in the United States. They own a lot of things in the United States. So it'll be interesting to see. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be BlackRock. And once BlackRock gets passed, then a lot of them are gonna get passed. What is there, like over 10 Bitcoin ETFs now? And then after that, I've always had this feeling, and I'm probably gonna write a thread about it next week about how once Bitcoin's passed and people start getting appetite for that, do you think the demand for it's gonna go up or down? It's probably gonna go up. And you know, businesses are in the business of making money. So if someone has one product that they can't get enough of, why wouldn't you start more products, more ETFs? It's going to span past Bitcoin. Now, all these people who come in here and say, oh, it's only going to be Bitcoin, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. Why would you ever just stop at Bitcoin? When has that ever been like a business's tendency to not give people more of what they want? They're going to probably take a look at Grayscale. Whatever they have trust for, I have a feeling those are going to have ETFs attached to them. Hey, you know, because people like once they're gonna get some taste of that Bitcoin rocket fuel, they're gonna see some of these altcoins go up. They're gonna want that too. I'm telling you. My bad. I'm out of sequence. The worst. I'm always early. My ADHD doesn't like it. LOL. Hey, I got that too. Maybe we're on to something. I like Wax P Metaverse and EOS. Cool. Wax. Man, you guys are bringing up some names I haven't heard for a couple years. Man, yeah, a lot of interesting projects on EOS. Generational Tana, how do I know you like EOS? Oh, it's in your icon. I think they will approve all of them at the same time. I do too. That's how it always goes. They're never going to get approved. And then people start talking and picking winners. And this is only going to get approved and that one's not. And these assets aren't going to get approved, but this one is. The way crypto moves is exponential. It's all or nothing. It's super extreme. It's one thing or the other. If crypto's not hot, everything's down. Everyone hates crypto. It's so extreme. But when crypto's hot, everything's up. It's frothy. It's not in crypto's nature to be just in the middle. You know what I mean? But about ETF, what happened when we got gold ETF? Just have a look. Yeah, when gold was publicly traded, for the first time, was it the 70s or 80s or something like that? It started going pretty parabolic, right? I mean, we can't really sell the price of the underlying gold because I don't think people kept like charts back in the 1600s and all that. But what do you think? Yeah, people now are able to move their money around. They're able to get a physical asset or at least price exposure to it and perceived redeemability of it through a paper product. And that's the real reason financial assets were brought into existence, guys. Little story time here. But back in the day, everyone used to trade in gold. People would lug it around. It was great, right? Because like it's its own settlement. It's like real money. It takes energy to like mine out of the ground. It's a store of energy. It lasts through time. It has all the properties of money. The problem is it's heavy. And basically, if you lose it, you're poor, right? So like when people would travel with gold, there were huge targets. People were always getting jacked in the freaking woods. People were getting killed. Like it was kind of treacherous. And that's why a lot of the gold, like people built castles and moats and stuff around their gold. They didn't want to take it anywhere. They hunkered down and protected it, right? So it's very hard to transport, at least safely. But then the Knights Templar came along and they said, hey, you want to move from here to there and you don't want to get killed? And you don't want to go through the woods? Give us your gold. We'll give you a paper certificate that you can redeem in our other location to where you're going. And then you can just pick it up there. Bada bing, bada boom. You don't have to, you can save your horse some life. It's not heavy. You don't get killed. Bang, bang. And people said that's a good idea. So you started doing that. And it was so reliable and so convenient. And that's the way they always do these things. It's so convenient that people stopped redeeming their gold, their paper for gold. They just traded the gold. I mean, they just traded the paper. They stopped getting the gold. And then all of a sudden, you know, like these things were redeemable all the way up to pretty much modern day history until the gold window got closed. I wasn't around, but I hear you could take a dollar to a bank and get a piece of gold for it, for whatever it was representing. That's no longer the case. But like here, Bitcoin is not heavy. Bitcoin is digital. It doesn't have the exact same problem as gold, but what it does have is technical risk and user error. Because if you send a Bitcoin to the wrong address, it's gone, sucker. It's unforgiving like that. If you press the phishing link and you input your private seed phrase or you do something like that, it's gone. And because a lot of people aren't technically native, they don't trust themselves. I'm be quite honest. And they grew up in a banking system that didn't make them have to trust themselves. So they want these ETFs. So if something happens, they have it insured by Lords of London or something that they can go to and make a claim, and they feel like they can get reimbursed. But the real thing is you can never get reimbursed with crypto. You can get money. Go ask someone from Mt. Gox. You guys know about Mt. Gox? If you don't, let me know in the comments. I'll fill you in. But yeah, Mt. Gox is something else. Go ask them. Let's see. Bro, I was on the class action lawsuit against EOS. Whatever happened with that, man? I know people were like trying to sue Brendan and stuff. What happened with that? Hope I get a mini bag. I hope you do too, man. I hope you do too. I never leave Walks SPN EOS. My bags just grow in this 2 years. Beast mode. See, that's the thing, guys. Like everyone talks about, if the market went down again, I would buy so much. But then the market goes down and no one buys. The people who have like hundreds of thousands, like thousands of ETH and like thousands of Bitcoin, they accumulated those bags over a lot of hard times, right? It's probably very rare, although it probably has happened. Someone just bought right before it ripped. and they bought right at like a few dollars or a couple cents and it went so high. No, they had to go through multiple cycles, hold, have crazy conviction, buy in time that looked like crypto's on death's doorstep, people screaming, Bitcoin's dead. You know how many times people have said Bitcoin's dead? But you know what? Like during bear markets, hey, it's hard, man. People start to believe them, you know? So good for you, man, having that conviction. I hope one day all of that pays off for you. Probably will. Yeah, got that. Bro, I'm a professional loser on EOS. I never learn. Keep burning my hand. Yeah, well, you know what, man? You know, after 2011, when Bitcoin went up and crashed and went down like 90%, 90 plus percent, people probably felt that way. And then it went up and then it came down again, and people probably felt that way. Look, I never really count anything out in crypto because I know crypto is so young and so early, and the market cap is so small. And we've seen in 2017 that when real money comes in here, the gains are so crazy, people can't help but get greedy. They start spreading their money around. It goes into places it should never go, ever. It was going all up into BitConnect at one point. You guys know about BitConnect? Went into Terra Luna, but at least that was like legit. BitConnect was a straight up looked like a scam, and people were throwing money in it. You know how it goes, man. So like, that's why I like to buy and hold projects that continue to build. I know the founders. I do my research. They've been here a long time. They continue to build, because if you're around when that money comes, you're going to do well. It's only when you invest in projects that don't have good intentions and they take off and don't wait for it to happen. That's what I look at, man. LOL, moats around the gold. LOL, wild times. Yeah. Moats with alligators and stuff, man. Like this whole wealth thing, this whole custodying your wealth thing has been a problem forever. That's one of Bitcoin's main positives, right? You don't have to deal with the physical. You do have to deal with the online risk. Gold is also hard to divide into small purchases and settlements. Now it is. Now gold is hard to divide, but back then it was probably easier than most things, right? Like gold relatively is a soft metal, you know, like it's pretty soft. Back then they thought it was like pretty good, right? But the problem is like they had a whole bunch of debasing, like shaving the, because it's soft, shaving like sides off it, pieces of it off. Like slowly the coins get smaller. People could play around with the alloy that it's made out of. It's without being perfect as well. Fool's gold. Yeah, man, there's some pretty good fake gold coins out of China right now. For sure, generational. We were here for that, Dub. Are you talking about Mount Gox? Yeah. For those of you who don't know about Mount Gox was a Magic the Gathering trading card site. Very prominent, one of the most prominent, based out of Japan, I believe. I used to play Magic. Never buy anything from there though. I didn't know about Bitcoin before then. Too bad. Maybe too bad. Maybe I would have got caught up in it. But basically, you would have to like send your money to the exchange. It would take a couple days or a week to get there. You'd buy your Bitcoin. And people didn't know about Bitcoin exchanges and not your keys, not your coins, really, because this was the first Bitcoin exchange, more or less. They had their Bitcoin there. They thought they owned it. Mount Gox collapsed. Some Bitcoin were there. I didn't follow up with the lawsuit too much because like I wasn't in it. But basically, a lot of the Bitcoin, like it took like 5-6 years, something like that, to go to the Japanese courts. The courts ordered them to sell the Bitcoin. Like then everything ran up. It's crazy. I don't think they got their Bitcoins back, man. They got some kind of cash value. But at that point, it was a fraction of what Bitcoin actually was worth. So that's the main thing, right? If you haven't got caught up in any kind of like crypto situation from the FTX thing, you're lucky. But just know that some people claimed bankruptcy. Some people were able to weasel their way out of it. But if you don't hold your coins, they're not yours. I mean, technically, legally they are, but like at the end of the day, if you never get them, are they really yours? Magic the Gathering Exchange, LOL, they got me. Damn. Damn. Sorry, man. Rip. But you're still here. That's the thing. If you never give up, you never lose, guys. In life, if you never give up, you never lose. I was here when red coin was supposed to be the stripper coin, LOL. Red coin. That's crazy. I'm gonna buy some red coin. I kind of like want to own all these old coins. It's like history, man. Feather coin, red coin, all this stuff. You know, Dogecoin, I guess, is an OG coin now too. It's 2014. I mean, Litecoin. To be honest, guys, like I get being in all these trends and these new coins that pop out the scene, but I also think there's a value in being around, like time tested, being around, because like there's nothing that could test a blockchain like time. Nothing. There's nothing you can do. There's no audit that like surpasses it. Time is the ultimate test in crypto. The longer your chain gets, the more secure it gets, the more miners it gets. You know what I mean? So like, I don't count these coins out. A lot of people call them quote unquote dino coins. Okay, that's funny. That's funny, right? But they place so much of their trust, so much of their trust in these new coins that just pop out. We barely know anything about. There's not really anything, any history to measure them against. And while some are great and will do great things, like Ethereum, they're winners, a lot don't, right? So we'll have to see, man. But I do think the frothy part of the cycle is coming, and it's going to be the catalyst will be the ETF. Imagine throwing red coin at webcam girls, LOL. Was red coin supposed to be for that? I didn't even know. That's hilarious. Didn't fall for BitConnect, but fell for Max. Oh, and Chaincoin, LOL. Ran a masternode. He was a big YouTuber, LMFAO, whatever. He came up. You guys remember Trayvon James? You remember there's a bunch of every cycle has its like influencers. I mean, you could chalk BitBoy up to being one of them too. BitBoy, the rise and fall of BitBoy. That was crazy. Do you guys see that live stream he had where he was like rolled up on by the cops? You think that was fake? I don't know. If it was fake, that was some great PR. I was loving that. That was like, whoa, what? That was crazy. BitConnect. I miss Carlos. I heard he got indicted. Wow, he did, huh? Well, it makes sense. That's what happens when you like, you know, are so public with these questionable projects. What about OneCoin? Anyone getting a OneCoin? That was a big one too. 9 people, what's good? LOL. I did lose in Luna and UST. Big lesson. Luna and UST was a big thing. I lost a little bit. I think a lot of people got affected by that because UST was such an adopted stablecoin. It was like the Cosmos ecosystem's main stablecoin. And Terra Luna was a huge gainer, right? Like it was like up there in top like exponential coins in 2020, 2021, I forget. But the thing is, man, I don't know if it's dead. I really don't know if it's dead. It's doing some weird things off the bottom. It's been rising up like 500%. Terra Classic, I'm talking about. And if Terra Classic does well, UST does well because of you guys know about their algorithmic relationship between the two. I'll tell you what, whoever bought the bottom of Terra Luna, and if that thing continues to rise up, that's going to be so much money. But you definitely deserve it because it's such a huge risk to buy that. That chart looks like deader than I've ever seen. Apparently not. It's not dead though. I mean, I think it would be good for the whole crypto space if Luna Classic came back. The reason I say that is because so much of the investable capital in the crypto space last cycle evaporated overnight by that collapse. The bag holders of that were pushing our money around everywhere, all over the ecosystem. then all of a sudden, nothing. If that came back and ETFs happen and the Bitcoin halving happens, now that is a situation where I think there can be potential rocket fuel. Potential rocket fuel. I talk about it in my thread on my X account. I'm gonna shill it again because I'm a shill for my own stuff. It's good stuff though. If you're on X, follow me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, follow me on X. We can do the whole sharing thing. Let's see. Do you think Elon will get involved in crypto again? Of course, I think Elon will get involved with crypto. He's not done with crypto. Do you remember a couple years ago, or I forget, bear market has been long, but if you remember like a year or so ago, the Twitter icon turned into like a Shiba Inu, like a Doge icon, then it just went away. He's not done with Doge, and he's trying to make X into a total like comprehensive platform, like a bank account, like a streaming, like blog. He's trying to make it this whole comprehensive thing. I have a feeling, knowing what kind of troll Elon is, he's going to include Dogecoin in it somehow. That's why I always hold a bag of Doge. I mean, I learned a lesson last cycle. I bought Doge in 2019 sometime, and then I dropped it because I was too early with it. And then I got bored. You know how it goes. And I shouldn't have. And I learned from that day, I ain't never going to drop Doge. Because then I found the value of meme coins, right? We talked about it last stream. But just real quick, the reason meme coins are big in blockchains is because blockchains are all about being valued in network effects. How many people are involved in the network makes it that much more valuable. I equate it to like a cell phone service with 2 people versus 2 million people. Which one would you rather be on? I think the answer is very clear. And meme coins have that ability to be viral. The virality goes around, it connects with people in a way, makes them laugh, makes them feel good, makes them sad, makes them feel something. Feeling is imperative to meme coins, right? It's relatable. And the main thing is you don't have to know a lot about crypto to feel like you're part of a meme coin community. So like, yeah, I think he'll be doing something with Doge at some point. Person turquoise waving. Flat smack, what's up? How you been? Good to see you. Elon started a bull before. Yeah, he also ended the bull too by talking about Bitcoin being inefficient and bad for the environment. Although this whole bear market, people have been using excess like energy, like from volcanoes and natural gas leaks and all that stuff to translate that into mining Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin can also be good for the environment. Elon's definitely waiting until the leaks allow him to pull the trigger. Eventually, we'll have a crypto archaeologist. They will buy anything old. Time on chain has value that grows every year. Exactly. Time on chain matters. Time on chain matters. Guys, the reason Bitcoin is one of the most adopted cryptocurrency in the space today is because it's the oldest. The most people have it. It's the most distributed. It's all over. People know about it. Brand recognition. Anyone talks about crypto, they first think about Bitcoin, and that's because it was the first mover advantage. And that's not only, what the hell? No, we're not doing that. Scam likely. What? Let me put it on silent though. Yeah, man. That's not only unique to Bitcoin. It's all cryptos, man. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that sometime soon. Like, you know, people hit on Bitcoin Cash, but you know what? A lot of people know about Bitcoin Cash. Time on chain matters. Ethereum Classic in the top 30. See, I like Ethereum Classic. I like things that a lot of people don't like, man. That's the thing about me. If you don't like that, I'm probably not the YouTuber for you. I'm probably not the dude for you. I like things people don't like. Why do I say that? It's because that's where all the opportunity's at. Yeah, I might be a little hipster about it. But you know what? If you get something right when most people get wrong, you're probably going to be very profitable. And I'm not a coin maximalist. I'm coin agnostic. It all looks green to me. If it has a good use case, has a good community, it makes sense, Builders have been building. They've been around or doing anything on the up and up. I'm about it, you know? Hey, Ethereum Classic has a limited supply. Ethereum Classic is focusing on its layer 1. It's proof of work. When everyone went onto ETH 2.0 and it became POS, guess where all that mining activity switched to? To ETC. Now it's one of the most strongest secure blockchains around just because of that switch. Look, guys, everyone thinks they have all this figured out. They know what the right Bitcoin is. They know what the right Ethereum is. They know all this stuff. That's funny because last time I checked, this was a new space. Interesting. Traya, I like dude for real. Treya, I like dude for real. Trey is back on YouTube. I saw him the other day. I was like, hey, that's where you went. He didn't like talk about my comment in the live stream, but he's lurking, man. Trey's out there. He's doing like coin like charting stuff a little bit. No, he really got arrested. I saw the mugshot. No, I just saw a stream with them. Is he out? Are you talking about Trey? Harmony 1? Harmony 1. I was actually into Harmony 1 really early. I haven't looked at it in a while. What are they doing? Tell me. It sounds like you know more about it than me. But yeah, Harmony 1 was a big one too. Also, Phantom was a big one too. I had a bad experience on their blockchain, but obviously they got better. They caught a lot of traction. See, guys, like I like the bear market for that reason. Like, if you're trash, you're probably gone. If you're here, you're probably serious. And if you're serious, it kind of like filters out a lot of the clutter because when it's a bull run, so many projects are in your face. They're all over the internet. And it's like kind of hard to filter out. Where we are now, or at least where we came from, it was a natural filter. It's easier to pick like who's really about it. You know what I mean? I don't know OneCoin. There's like a documentary, I think, on Netflix on it. It's like not WorldCoin, but it was like a big crypto rug pull, like huge. Trayvon is still on YouTube. He is still on YouTube. What other crypto influencers have there been that came and went? Trayvon. A lot of them from the 2017 cycle are still around. Wasn't too much like weird stuff. Trayvon is probably one of the biggest. In another dimension, Brock Pierce won the presidency and instilled EOS as the new US dollar. How do we get to that dimension? Hey, Brock Pierce wasn't going to win. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if you thought he would. He's not going to win. Come on. The world's not ready for that. Elon Musk would become president before Brock Pierce becomes president. You know that's true. Bonk seems like this season's favorite dog coin. Bonk is going bonkers. It's going wild. Hey, I was trying to use AI to predict, like, to make like a little meme coin portfolio, and they talked about Bonk a lot. Bonk is killing it. But that's like one of the only, or at least the biggest meme coin on Solana, right? Hey, I think that's a good thing though. Like that's showing that like meme coins, it doesn't matter what chain it's on. It doesn't matter if the the Ethereum maxis like shit on it, right? They only care. The only thing that matters is the community around it. The only people matter that believe in it. It's more like a sentiment thing. So that's pretty cool. I really thought Pepe was next. Pepe is doing well, man. If you look at the chart, Pepe is like Wing up. Don't count Pepe out. Don't count Doge out. See, everyone thinks that, oh, it pumped already. It's over. Oh, man. Doge is one of the most distributed cryptocurrencies in the whole crypto industry. It is everywhere. There are so many wallets that have Doge. It's all about how many people have adopted it, man. You can play all these games with your supply and VC investment, all this and that. But the thing for these decentralized, like really decentralized coins, is how many people have it, how many people care about it, how many people know about it. Network effect. Eight people, what's good? Speaking of energy, is Power Ledger ready yet? Question mark. I have not looked into Power Ledger for a while. You let me know. But I like the whole thing about Power Ledger. I think decentralized power is like going to be so huge. The problem is like it might take some time. It might take some time for people to realize that, right? I mean, the power grid will have to start acting a little crazy. It's not that great right now, but like when people really start to feel that pinch, I think it'll definitely be adopted in like third world countries where there really isn't centralized power and all that. But the problem is it takes some building. It takes time to build this infrastructure, to be able to afford the infrastructure. There are roadblocks. But when you think about what money is, a store of energy, right? And a coin that can actually buy you energy, that means it should be pretty valuable, right? And I think we saw a couple of them, Energy Web Token, Power Ledger, a few of them. There's probably some more now. I'm just bullish on the whole niche of that. But like I said, sometimes I'm earlier than I like. Sometimes, man. Pepe's founders did some weird stuff that rubbed people the wrong way. Wonder what they did. I don't know. What did they do? Why are they rubbing people? Rip. Nah, man, I don't think it's dead. Like, the chart looks pretty sexy, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I don't think it's dead, man. A lot of tokens after a pump. Yeah, think the dump, a lot of tokens after the pump. I mean, so did Charlie Lee with Litecoin. I'm sorry. I got to be real. Like, what do you guys expect these coins to? They got to fund themselves, right? Like, I don't know what happened, right? I don't know what the whole nuances of the Pepe situation is, but like these projects, they're just like you and me. Number go up and they got to take some profits. I mean, like, same thing with Litecoin too. Like, I remember at the top, Charlie came out and did a tweet and said, hey, it's going to go down. I'm selling a lot now. Like, you should sell too. Because these things move in waves, right? And a lot of people could think that, oh, you dumped all these tokens and that's what caused the price to collapse 80, 90%. Not understanding how crypto moves. Crypto and all these altcoins follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, those are never going to go down, regardless of the founders drop it or not. Then, you know what I mean? So, like, we'll see. But, like, I don't count these meme coins out because at the end of the day, they are more or less jokes. They're more or less like just fun projects, right? So, like, whoever invests a lot of money and they get really mad about people actually selling, maybe overpositioned. Not sure. 9 people, what's good? Pepe will be huge while it's being overlooked, not when everyone wants it. Those people will be your exit liquidity. Is it even being overlooked, Dab Master? Because like it's up from its lows, man. Pretty significantly. You think they're still like it's pretty early right now? Facts. Yeah, the founders are probably shady, but the memes live forever. Because guys, it's all about the community it builds. It's all about the feeling people get and how many people have it. Like, you guys know Doge started as a joke, more or less. It was just a tipping thing. Look at the culture it's built. It pretty much pioneered meme culture for crypto from a picture of a dog. Now, did you think that the makers of Doge really thought it'd become this huge thing? No. I guarantee the people, the Doge whales out there, they were laughing when they bought it initially. Just like the Bitcoin whales out there. They're just like, oh, if it goes a couple bucks, $100, cool. There might have been some geniuses, but like the majority of people, it's just a wish and a prayer, and it happens like that. So like over time, people come in, people make money, people lose money, but the legacy of the coin still stands. The history is still there. And people who go through hard times together, they cement this bond. And the culture gets stronger. The community gets tighter. 8 people, what's good? True. Give it some time. New people coming won't even know. This. New people don't even know. And that's why, you'll have all these people who talk crap about Bitcoin Cash and ETC, Ethereum Classic, and then a whole bunch of new people come in who are totally new. There are so many new people that come in that they are the majority, and the people who are here become the minority, and they don't know anything. All they know is that's a cheaper one. They don't know about crypto, guys. They don't have the prejudices you and I have. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the experience. That's why, these things start popping up out of nowhere that have no business popping off because new money's here. And they look at a coin, a meme coin, they say, that's funny, I'm going to buy it. Robin Hood culture, man. BitBoy, not Trey. Who was the kid that also punched BitConnect? Nick something? Oh, yeah, Nick something. Yeah, I forgot. It's been a while. Trayvon is still around. Think he interacts with the Hex and Zen community a lot. Too, next cycle, he'll be 2 cycles removed from his controversy? People won't even know. Start over. Seems to remember Data Dash was one of the biggest crypto YouTubers in 2017. Not sure how big he is now. Yeah, Data Dash. I remember. I know he had a company he started. I don't know if he just kind of bowed out. Because during bear markets, your community kind of goes away. I have 5,000 people on YouTube, but a lot of them went silent, and that's just the nature of crypto, right? So I could see him kind of some of these people just kind of turning away and doing what the business they started or whatever. I totally get it. The ledger problem is resolved. It was malicious software. Clear out your cache to make sure not embedded. Oh, what you talking about, man? Dab Master, let us know. What is that? Explain. The best looking chart is Caspa. It's hard to find anything wrong with CAS. Interesting. I think it has 10x Pepe, but I think meme coins will get to ridiculous market caps. It will be short-lived and very confusing. It always is. I mean, when you think about the last cycle, the first coin to really pop off was Doge. And then people just kept piling in. And then it got around that yo, so-and-so made money. And for real? And then their friends bought in. It actually really started with AMC and GameStop. Remember that? And then it went to Doge. It was this piling in culture. And then they started piling into other cryptos. Yeah, it's momentum. It's like a momentum trade. So it'll be interesting to see. Ivan Sek was saying the biggest mistake he made back in 2017 was being too smart. Yeah. I mean, I used to watch Ivan when he was recording YouTube videos from his desk in his room before the big set, before all that, before his company, all of that. I remember I'll watch him on my breaks from work and he would talk about it. And he was covering the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, when they first started out. Yeah, man, it's good. It's been good to watch Ivan grow. But yeah, he came from a very coder. He was, I think, developer explains Bitcoin or something like that. Those were his tags back then. Data Dash still around. I watch him still. LOL. He's a bear until last week. There's a link on Ledger Twitter. Okay, I'll check it out. For sure. Make sure your hardware wallets are right, guys. Make sure they're right. I mean, I haven't been too crazy about the moves Ledger's been making, to be quite frank. Don't call me Frank. Mainly the whole Ledger recover thing. Get out of here with that. That really pissed people off because if you believe in self-custody, how is it possible you can get my seed phrase if you said my seed phrase was only displayed once when I first started up the wallet? And then it said it's opt-in service. It's well, if it's opt-in service, that means there's a back door, this and that. And they did a lot of PR work to try to help people believe that there's nothing like that. And now I hear about this. Interesting times. Makes me think the safest wallet is a paper wallet. Damn. Well, it doesn't have to be paper, but you know what I mean. Cool. Got about 5 minutes, y'all. What do you guys want to talk about? We talked a lot about the Bitcoin ETF. We talked a lot about some other things too. But yeah, I just think this Bitcoin ETF is going to be a real catalyst. I think it'll probably come around Q1 2024, right before that halving. I think it's going to be a catalyst. A lot of money that hasn't been here before coming into this space for the first time. When that happens with ETF, I think there'll be a floodgate of ETFs. I think there's going to be more than Bitcoin ETFs. And that's what I think what's going to get a lot of frenzy. But I do think institutions will front run the general public. And I think we've front ran the institutions, which has never really happened in history, guys. That doesn't really happen very much because technically, like there's, about accredited investors, you have to make so much money or have a certain net worth of liquid assets to be able to get into these risky investments. But given crypto's decentralized nature, that kind of could be bypassed and has been bypassed. So it should be interesting times, guys. Fun times. Plan to be here and kick it with you. I'm going to be doing these live streams twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 PST. We'll keep it regular. We'll keep it fun. And yeah, I'm trying to post more stuff on my YouTube in terms of YouTube Shorts. I'm trying to figure out YouTube Shorts. I'm trying to figure out YouTube, man. But yeah, it should be fun, guys. Other than that, if there's nothing else, I'll talk to y'all later. Been fun. See you guys next week. Peace.